But let's come to Malegaon. Very, very strange case, where you said in your book that you have been forced to sign documents to fabricate the narrative of saffron terror. That's the first time you actually admitted something like that. Now, the Malegaon blast witnesses also told the NIA court that they've been forced by the Maharashtra ATS to falsely name Yogi Adityanath and several other RSS leaders in this thing. This happened in September 2008, if I'm not mistaken. Right. The blast was carried out by Indian Mujahideen and Ahle Hadith, according to preliminary reports. But soon, Abhinav Bharat came out of nowhere. What's the truth, Mr. Mani?
Let me put certain things in perspective. It's all calendar of events. I will give you two set of calendar of events. First is 29th September 2008. Malegaon blast occurs in the evening. It is a normal criminal case. First responder is police. Local police respond, SP Rural in Nasik district. He would have responded. Thereafter, to assess the evidence and to come to a preliminary conclusion that it is a terror attack, he would have taken some time and protected the evidences and reported to his higher authorities, and the case would have been assigned to ATS, and this takes a bureaucratic work of around 2 to 3 days. 29th September, the 30th September the core work starts. 2nd October nobody works in the government, and you have later on we have this Dashera holidays also falling. I will come all to that. So, not before the 4th or 5th the case could have been assigned to ATS as per the simple working procedure of the government. They cannot simply say ATS you go and take over, there is some motorcycle blast. So, but later on what happens? Next the calendar of event is in the Mumbai blast 2006 July serial train blast. It took them 6 to 7 months to identify the entire investigation process. ATS took 6 to 7 months to identify, collect evidence, and later on arrest the perpetrators. So, Mohammed Bilal or whatever it is. In Malegaon 2008, it is very clearly 6 days it is handed over to ATS, and within 15 days they arrest Sadhvi Pragya. In 20 days they arrest Lieutenant Colonel Purohit, and Lieutenant Colonel Purohit, even under section 45 of CRPC, to arrest a sitting army officer you require certain prior sanctions, and that would have meant this file, even if it was to be given by the GOC Western Command, let us assume, I am not talking of GOC Delhi area, and the local regional command chief, the file would have travelled 21 desks, all of them supposed to apply their minds, examine the evidences, and they say they did it in 21 days. It is simply not possible, because immediately on the 5th or 6th or 7th or whatever day the ATS was assigned the work, they would not have. So, my premonition is that a design was already there, a template was already there, that a terror attack would be conducted, whether through Ahle Hadith or Indian Mujahideen or whatever organization or local people, and thereafter the thing will be blamed on the Hindus by this type of a template. That is what I have been saying, number one. You talked about Abhinav Bharat. Now, I will give you the timelines of Abhinav Bharat. 1903 it was created, 1953 or so, somewhere around there it was disbanded. In 2005 it is given life again.
Who did it?
See, it's headquartered in Maharashtra. The Charity Commission of Maharashtra or the political leadership in Maharashtra should have given it. Certainly Abhinav Bharat with a Congress or a Congress NCP coalition government in Maharashtra, even if all the papers were okay, they would not have given it. Had they given it, even if they given it, the charity commissioner or the registrar of society, it brings to question, the next question is, who approved it ultimately? So that is the reason I always say, even the revival of Abhinav Bharat seems to be engineered to meet the, see, for creating a narrative, you create an instrument.
I remember there was a huge amount of money, I'm not really sure of the exact amount, maybe around 70 to 80 lakhs, that was deposited by somebody in the account, the bank account of Abhinav Bharat. It was obviously deliberately done so that they could be framed in it.
Exactly. There are adequate reports that from where the money has come, a detailed investigation can certainly reveal.
I was told, I'm not really sure, Mr. Mani, but that a senior union minister was involved in this transaction during the Congress era, was involved in this transaction. I don't have the complete detail, but I'm just doing a bit of speculation to see whether that is actually true.
There is a possibility. We cannot rule out the possibility, because the entire idea was to create a monster, give it the name of the monster, and give it the tag of Hindu monster, give a religion to the monster, and for all these things you require these type of resources, and they were all flowing from the government funds. We do not know, public funds. A minister would not have done it from his own pocket. So this begs a question, it could have certainly happened. This question also begs an answer. Deeper investigation into it may perhaps reveal the details.
I think there are a lot of things that the Modi government can actually do, because we will come to 2611 after some time, but I think there are a lot of skeletons that were hidden during the UPA 1 and UPA 2, where serious compromises were made with national security, the defense of the country, and of course the entire integrity of our armed forces and our civil and police officials also. But coming back to this question again that I often asked, Sherlock Holmes in his books usually asks, whenever he sees a murder scene, the first question he would ask is, who benefited from this murder? Now obviously the question with creating an Abhinav Bharat or creating a Hindu saffron terror link and all that kind of stuff, who actually benefited? I know it's a very obvious question, but Mr. Mani, coming from you, I think it would be actually more credible than what I would say.
It is competitive. It was trying to create a false, it's a process of appeasement. So I am trying to placate that X, since you people are carrying out terror, and that is well known to the country. See, in all the parliament questions replied, nowhere has the government said there is a Hindu terror. It always says Pak based, ISI sponsored, Pak POK based terror organizations have been found responsible for these attacks.
And where did this saffron terror come from?
I do not know. In the parliament question, which is the ultimate truth, where no officer or nobody would try to lie, excepting in one parliament question where I have pointed out Lok Sabha question number 78, answered on 2nd March 2009, where Chidambaram had changed the reply, and for not agreeing to the reply, he changed the joint secretary. These are all matters of record. Generally, the trend was POK based, ISI sponsored terrorist outfits are creating terror attacks in the country.
So the government in one voice was saying something else,
right.
The party in another voice was saying something else.
Right.
They were basically trying to give a clean sheet. The Congress was trying to give a clean sheet to the Pakistani establishment, the ISI, as whoever it is doing the attack from there, and trying to say, no, it is the Hindu organizations which are carrying out this terror attack, not Pakistan militants or Pakistani terrorists. Am I right?
You are right, and the consequence of that is that the real perpetrators escaped.
2611 is a case in point.
Exactly. Now 2611 also, again the External Affairs Minister has shown a very muscular approach in calling out in the recent counter-terrorism conference.